Okay, hello everyone and welcome to today's session, Unlock the Future of AI. Here with Constantinos from Social Selling Warrior, you can see there. And our good friend, our guest today, Debbie Key. Hello, Debbie.
Hey, Con, how you going? Hello,
Good.
everyone.
So you want to tell us a bit about what you do, Debbie, and SuccessBox, please?
All right, so SuccessBox is all about building organisational excellence, and we do that at the individual, team and organisational level. So it could be a whole variety of different needs throughout the business, and we have expertise across all of those channels. So we spend a lot of our time working with amazing clients who need very bespoke, customised solutions.
And Deb and I go back a long way, and I know it's a long way because we've been together for a while with our learning development space.
Yep.
And Deb and I have both been very active practitioners and also users of ChatGPT and other AI technology. And we thought, what a great opportunity to share some of that knowledge with the rest of you and share some of our knowledge, expertise around AI tools and ChatGPT. So we're here today to sort of talk a bit about that. So Deb, I'll ask you a question. Your experience with AI and ChatGPT, what's it been like so far?
It's been, for me, it's very exciting, Con. I love being not necessarily at the cutting edge, but jumping into innovative things early and exploring them so that I have not only awareness, but I've got a little bit of knowledge, I suppose, is the way to look at it. And I jumped into ChatGPT in November, or yes, I think it was November. Is it only November? It seems like it's been around forever. In November, and went, oh, this is pretty cool. And then I actually started really playing with it and using it within my work. So, you know, getting it to help me save an enormous amount of time with what I was pulling together and how I was designing things, and using it as a proper resource tool in order to make my life easier and create impact with what I was doing.
And the same for me too, Deb. I've been playing with it about the same time as you, about November, when I first came across it and saw all the hype about it on my LinkedIn profile. Started getting into it, and I thought this is interesting. And being a content creator with my clients and all that, I thought this is going to be helpful for me. And I lived down in some of those mental blocks I would have. So dealing with a variety of clients, you don't always have to be a subject matter expert. So it gave me an opportunity to do some research and to be able to find topics that are relevant to my clientele, to be able to further expand those topics. So what I say to people when it comes to things like ChatGPT, don't be like that. Don't put your head in the sand. Like Deb said there, we're here to encourage you to use it. We're here to encourage you that give it a go and don't just put your head in the sand. Explore it, embrace it. Would you agree, Deb?
Absolutely. I think that sums it up. You know, if you put your head in the sand, you're not going to get anything out of the tool. And if you don't have that open mind, willingness, a little bit of curiosity just to jump in and embrace it, you aren't going to be able to see the value that it can bring to what you do.
Okay, great. Let's get into some value here. Let's talk a bit about how we've been using it, Deb, and some examples of where you've used it. So you want to set the scene? I can show a screen. What sort of scenarios have you used it in, and how does that help you?
Well, just last week, Con, I was writing up a bit of a motivational speech for a group of trainees or learners on overcoming fear, because their biggest fear was about presenting. So one of the prompts I put into ChatGPT was how to write a motivational speech on overcoming fear, which I think is your prompt one.
Yep. Okay, I guess put it in there now.
So
Just
pull that one up.
I'll share this. Yep, I'll share the screen now. Let's just share the screen, and we'll go into that one now. Here we go. Hopefully there it is there.
Obviously, you and I don't have this fear, Con, because that's what we're doing.
You know, so I'm a paid user of ChatGPT, but you can do this in the free version as well. So I'll just go in there now, put in that prompt that there was saying. So it's write a motivational speech on overcoming fear, and let's see what we get. And this is a kind of example. This is, and that's what I like about ChatGPT 4, Deb. I know you're using it too. It's so quick. or
Yeah.
fast.
Yeah, because I mean, when you're trying to, particularly around things like, trying to motivate others, it can be quite a daunting challenge, when you're trying to convince people that this is a good thing to do, what they say, presenting or, speaking in public is one of the greatest fears. It's feared more than death. So when you're trying to write that, your words are very important. Your tone, your phraseology, all of that sort of thing is so important. So if you can get a little bit of a head start with a tool like ChatGPT, and it gives you this, you can see it's giving you this wonderful context around it. And then, what I never go live with what ChatGPT has given me. I always pull it out. I put it into a Word document, and then I might use some other AI tools, things like, Grammarly or WordTune or Quillbot, whatever your favorite thing is, and then start to play around with the information that it's provided you. I also like to give it my own voice and tone.
Yes, that's very important. We keep that in mind. That's my suggestion too to people that talk to me. There's always make sure you adjust it to reflect your tone, your brand, the way you talk. You can even, I've noticed even too now with ChatGPT 4, you can actually tell the program to write in my tone. I am, writing a friendly tone or using the Hemingway framework or whatever the case may be. So,
absolutely.
Really,
And here's my brand.
so
Can you brand it in my voice and tone and the words that I use, and then it will rewrite, in that tone.
I was going to take yours there and just show I like this. So let's say you're doing a video. You want to do a video script. So what you do, you'll take that there exactly. Just say, write me a video script. Video script. Here it is for my YouTube channel. My YouTube. I can spell it genius. YouTube video, and it can actually start writing based on what you've told it.
Yep, absolutely. And it will understand spelling mistakes too. So
yeah, it does. Yeah, I know. It'd be good to get it right. It does.
Perfect.
Does pick it up. So there it is. There's the intro, upbeat music. And I love the way it does this. I've done this for one of my videos. It even gives you the text on screen, the visuals. And there it is. It gives you the narrator. It gives you the whole script end to end. So you can actually go away and give it to someone. In fact, you can even give it to an AI, what they call Synthesia, and create the whole video for you.
And there's other things you can do too, like, OpenAI, a tool that people haven't gotten onto yet is their jukebox tool, which will create music. So if you want that, you could put this in to create that upbeat music that it talks about at the front as well. So, there and apart from that, you could actually have a whole AI generated video if you wanted for this as well. So it's just amazing where we are and where we're going,
Dear friend Stuart, just written in. Thanks, Stuart. Thanks for joining us. This is a really good point Stuart makes. Use it as a context as opposed to content creation tool. That's really, really good. Have you had any examples of that, Debbie? You've come across it or use it as a context creation tool?
I'm playing around with that a lot, actually, which is interesting because, from a context point of view, I was playing with, I had a facilitation session I was doing with some students just a couple of weeks ago, and we had some content and we wanted to change the context that we were working with, right? So we actually took the content out of the presentation and we put it into ChatGPT and we got it to write in, contextually as Shakespeare. And then we took the same piece of text and we turned it into a rap song. So from a context point of view, you can do a lot of things. You just have to give it the information, tell it exactly what you are looking for and how you want to pull it together, and it will work in that style for you.
That's a great, thanks very much, Stu. Really appreciate that. That's a great comment. It's a really good point of view. And what's the word you used the other day? I remember Deborah were talking. You said that ChatGPT won't replace jobs. What's that sort of phrase you were using the other day? I remember that was really good.
Oh, yeah. AI is not going to replace people, but people who understand and can utilize AI will definitely replace people who can't.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
I think it's about, this is the time to jump in and start learning about it at its, it's not really infancy, but this is, it's new to so many people. Take the small steps, but it's a big step for those jumping in, get
I
on
did one
board.
too just earlier on today. I took a particular prompt. I believe what I've learned a lot with using ChatGPT lately is that the more you feed it, remember that all garbage in, garbage out. So the more you feed it, the better the output will be. So I said to her, okay, write me, take into account all the knowledge you learned about strategy of attracting high earning clients. I'm a small business owner. Create a social media content posting table that includes the following for our mortgage broker firm. So one, give me 5 posts for the month of May. The social media post itself include motivational tips, securing loans, and all that. And then it just went away. It's just amazing. You can actually create your own social media planner. It tells you the words to write, the emojis to use, the type of image suggested. And we know there's things like Mid-Journey and other things like that. They can actually create the image if you don't find it. So this is just so great for those people who are looking to tap into content creation, who don't have a big marketing department, who don't have a big social media department, and just want to create some content to get some traction. Such a good, powerful tool.
Exactly. And one of the key things to remember, Con, is that anything it feeds back to you, you can actually ask it to either enhance that, take it to another level. Can you give me more information? Or it might be the reverse. It gives you too much information. You say, hang on a minute, I've only got 80 characters to use.
Yes,
Can you
exactly.
reduce this back to, less than 80 characters?
Exactly
you
right.
can play around with the content so much in that format.
Yeah. So I did something very similar to that where I said, then act as a professional social media engagement manager, create a post promoting my business. And I said, make it 200 words and use professional, direct and friendly tone. So this again, where we start telling the chat GPT, tell the natural processing language, how we want it to act on our behalf. And as you use it more and more, I've noticed too, Deb, maybe you can comment on this, is that it starts recognizing your tone, starts recognizing your language, and it starts writing in that approach. Is that something you picked up too?
Yeah, absolutely. So, when I'm in the L&D space, the learning and development space, and, you have to have the objectives and all of those sorts of things, instead of me asking it to do that now, it will automatically come out with that because it knows that that's going to be a constant request that I'm putting in there. So yes, it's absolutely learning my style, my needs as we continue the conversation.
That's right. That's right. So, is there any other prompts that you got that you want to showcase with us today, Deb? Anything else that you come across being using?
Let's do prompt 2. How can businesses implement sustainable practices? Because I've had a lot of people come to me recently around with this type of question around sustainability. And it's interesting to see what ChatGPT puts out there.
Okay.
Now, that's a very broad question.
You better go to 4. Yep.
Yeah.
Let's see what it gives us.
It's not necessarily one that I would start with, but I think for the purpose of this conversation, I think it's a great question to put in there.
That's true. And it's okay to start broadly. It is really good to start broadly. See what you get and say, okay. So what I do when I do this is say, okay, take point number 2, give me more on that and tell me more about that point. And it actually goes in and unpacks that further.
Yep. And you don't actually have to say, to it when it finishes this, tell me more about waste reduction. You can just say, please expand on point 3.
Yeah.
And, I'm in a, small to medium enterprise, and there's about 100 employees working in this enterprise. And, what can we do as a business, for example, to actually improve that point?
That's a good one. I like this one. That's right. So now what we do, we stop generating here. So we might say, okay, community involvement, engage with, okay, so you say, okay, expand on point 10, focusing on how the community can get involved.
Yep.
Try to make it right. Let's see what it says here. So we go, so actually ask them to focus in on something that's already produced. And there we are now. It's giving us a bit more on that point number 10.
And you can be quite specific. Yeah,
Sorry,
you can say, I want the top three,
Yeah.
key points for this, or I really want to focus in, on volunteers or something. Like you can just keep going. You can filter it down, as deep as you want to go, and make it very, very precise and specific and refined. Or you can keep it broad, depending on your needs, or anywhere in between, obviously.
And look, the beauty I love about it too is that they actually give you some prompts. It says ChatGPT may produce inaccurate information about people, places.
Yep.
And that's I like about OpenAI. They're actually very open and frank about what this is all about and how to use it in a very cautious manner, and not to just believe everything that it produces. Verify it, use some of your other resources.
And that's the key word, I think, Con, resource. It's a resource. So, it's no different to, oh my God, looking up an encyclopedia back in the day, when you had to go to the library. It's a resource. It's not the absolute, answer to all the questions, but it can prompt you in the right direction. It might provoke other ideas and thoughts that you never even knew existed. And that's the beauty of it, because it's actually I heard a figure the other day that it's actually, when it pulls these answers together, it's going through like 100 trillion different pieces of data to pull this information together. And whether that is right or wrong, I don't know. I'm not going to count them. But it's going through a massive amount of data to actually pull this together. So you may as well, utilize it effectively and get as much assistance from a very powerful resource as you can.
And yes, preaching and actually putting what we preach. I actually did use the ChatGPT to write the post for our particular webinar. I said, LinkedIn post, post 3 parts, use a hook, use benefits, you do a call to action and directives on the hook, and directives on the benefits. And I told it how to focus on the hook, how to focus on the benefits, and what to do in the call to action. And actually just, that's it, nice and simple. Skyrocket your efficiency, discover untapped potential. So easy, so simple to use. Bang, you break through that barrier, you customize it, you adjust it. So it's really good. So Deb, you and I, I got something special coming up. We've got a magnificent new session that we're running. You want to tell us a bit about that?
So it's actually next week, Friday week. We are getting together, and we're actually going to be running a face-to-face session, similar to what we've been doing this morning, but this morning, it's this afternoon where I am, but it's a lot more detailed, and we're going to spend about 3 hours coming together with people in a room in that old-fashioned face-to-face style of a workshop, but getting the hands dirty. So the people that are coming along are going to bring their own device. They are going to bring their own connections to whatever AI tool that they're working with. We will have a ChatGPT focus, but we're not adverse to talking about the other tools or exploring them. Con and I both have experience in lots of the other tools that are around as well. But what we want the people to do in the room is to bring their challenges, their traumas with a tool like ChatGPT, and let's unblock them. Let's clear that pain for you and get some conversation happening.
Exactly right, Deb. And that's the aim of doing a face-to-face. We want people to come with real-life sort of situations, not concerned, but actually, how would I be able to do this via AI? Or how would I be able to do that? So we will focus on ChatGPT, but Deb and I will also show you some other tools we use where we actually, customize it, we tailor it, we ensure it meets our brand, our tone of voice, and so forth. So we'll be sharing a lot about those tips, and you'll also walk away with a workbook with a few prompts that you can use for your own purposes. That will help you at least get a start and get your head out of the sand, as we said in the beginning, and start exploring ChatGPT. That's the aim of this particular session.
Yeah, it's going to go a bit deeper than just getting, there's lots of people putting just, like lists of, here's 25 prompts, ChatGPT prompts. It's going to go much deeper than that. We're actually going to give you and work with you to provide the prompts that you need specifically for your businesses.
That's right. So what we've got there on the screen there, there's the link there. I'll put that link in also at the bottom in the, I can get to it. Hold on a second. Here we go. And also I'll put that in the comments, but also there's a QR code in the top right-hand corner there. If you want to take your phones out and scan that QR code, you should be able to take you directly to that particular, put that in the comments. There it is there. So we've got that in the comments. Hopefully have gone through. And the QR code will take you directly to the book and link. If you've got your phone there, Andy, just scan the QR code and we'll go straight to it. We believe that this is probably one of the first face-to-face ones. We know there's a few online ones, but the first face-to-face sort of hands-on session. So we're really keen, one, to showcase what ChatGPT and other AI tools can do, but also have that sort of conversation with what business people are in, how they're thinking of using ChatGPT and other AI tools, and get more examples for them to help them along their way. So April 28th in Doncaster here in Victoria, we've got a beautiful room set up, lots of space to mingle, lots of networking also available. So we hope to see you there April 28th. Please connect with us if you want to book, have a conversation, want to find out more. Debbie's on LinkedIn, so am I. You'll see our profiles in the event notification there. And we'll look forward to seeing you. So, Debbie, any last words from you?
It's going to be a really great event. So just looking forward to getting in there and empowering people to really just embrace their ChatGPT skills.
And, we gave you a sample today, guys. We gave you a sample of some of the stuff we're going to cover. And like Debbie said, we're going to go into a bit more depth and really have a sort of interactive conversation with you. Thanks for your time, Debbie, today.
You're welcome. Thank you. We'll see you next week.
We'll see you on the 28th. All the best, guys. Hope you enjoyed the broadcast and talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Thanks.